What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be working on a Craftsman lawnmower, more specifically the mower deck. I had let somebody borrow it, and one of the spindles kind of seized up and snapped the housing for the bearings. So we're going to be replacing both of those. Also, I kind of moved my shop area to the shed. It's very hot today, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. But so this is the shed. Cleaned it out. Got a workbench I'm working on. Gonna get some more tools in here. Door to get to the backyard. Window. So this is kind of the setup right now, and that's some of what we're going to work on. So I didn't take the housing out. Somebody else did, but you can see that's where it snapped. Was those three spots right there. So I got replacement ones, and the replacement ones look like this. So that's what snapped right there where it gets bolted in. So we're replacing these, and hopefully everything goes the way it's supposed to. But the only thing I don't like about this setup is there's no way to like really grease these. It's kind of like a sealed bearing, so there's no way to really grease them. So I mean, sooner or later they're gonna go bad anyways. But this is the deck. I should replace the belt, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll do that another time. So I'm gonna start by trying to clean up some of the stuff. I'm gonna hit it with a wire brush and get it all together. So first things first, I'm gonna try to clean it up, get as much of the crap off of it as I can. Okay, so one thing I want to mention before you go ahead and start pulling anything apart, it's probably best to pull the pulley off first. In my case, it's a 7/8. So you're going to want to find a way to hold the blade safely. For me, the back side's not sharp, so I just put my foot there and loosen the bolt. In other cases, you may want to use like a wood dowel or maybe a piece of 2x4 to jam the blade so it doesn't spin. Now these are going to be a little tricky to come off. It's been there for so long. This is when a camera person comes in handy. And there we go. There's the pulley. Okay? So then we can loosen the bolts that are holding the housing on. Mine are 1/2 inch. I've already tried taking one off and I actually snapped it off. So it may be a good idea to make sure that your new spindle housings come with hardware, or if they don't, that you can get the hardware. Not going to be easy to get off necessarily, because they've been on there for so long. Probably built up of grass and rust and who knows what else. Like I said, the first one I tried taking off actually snapped. flip this up. And what you're gonna have is this ring right here, your housing, and then your blade. Now you're saying, well, how do I get the blade off now that it's out of the, now the housing's out of the thing? Well, we're gonna take the blade over to the vise. We're gonna get it out that way. So for that, we gotta go over to the other, to the basement where I got the, where I have the vise set up. So be back in a second. All right, so we got the blade in the vise right here, and I got it nice and tight, but I don't want to go too crazy where I'm going to bend the blade. So this is a 9/16 bolt. Just going to put it in there and loosen it up. Now I before I started filming, I did give it a little bit of a tap. What I did is I put one hand here. Notice it's not the sharp edge. Put one here to hold it, while I use the other to give some pressure on the bolt. So I'm going to take that right off. Like I say, we're back in my basement. Basement's been a little messy right now. Now if you wanted to, you could use a ratchet, to make it a little bit quicker, but for me the wrench was easily available and worked out pretty good. Okay, so there's that. Let's save that just in case. And there's the spindle. And there's the blade. Okay. So we'll take that out of the vise and bring it back over to the shed. So quick note, if you're going to be rebuilding your mower deck, now would be the time to either replace the blades, sharpen the blades, whatever you got to do. You got to take them off anyway, so I mean, might as well do it while they're off, so that would take it all apart again at a later time. For me, I just sharpened the old blades. You know, they didn't vibrate, they're not bent. Overall, I mean, I think they're in good enough shape where I just hit them with the belt sander real quick, sharpen up the edge. If you guys want to see how I do that, you know, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But other than that, I mean, that's, like I said, this is the time to get to do that kind of stuff, since you're going to be taking it all apart anyways. Realistically, I should do the belt, but I didn't buy the belt. So I will have to go back and do it later. I didn't really realize how bad the belt was until you know, until I started tearing into it. So, but changing the belt, it's really not that hard. So I'll just do that at a later time. Alright, so we're going to clean up the mower deck. Underneath, what I'm going to do is the rings, I'm going to hit those with a wire wheel on my grinder, clean those up. And then I'm going to wire wheel around the holes so everything sits nice and flush. Okay? So I'm not going to bore you guys with that. So I'll just do it up, and once it's all done, I'll let you guys see what it looks like. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. Now it's time to reassemble. So you're gonna take your ring. That's gonna go in first. Line up the holes, and your spindle. Now there, as far as I can tell, there's no real specific way to put this in. You just gotta match up the holes. It's pretty symmetrical all the way around. So put it on like that, and you just take your screws, throw them in on the other side. Easier said than done. Started. Okay, and there are the spindles. And I'll go through with the wrench and tighten it up. The bracket I had a problem with is this one right here. What it does, this one does, is when the pulley bolts on here, this kind of like sits against the pulley and keeps the belt on. But you'll see, I'll better demonstrate that once I get it all back together. So for now, I'm gonna tighten up the bolts, and then I got new pulleys to go with it because I wasn't sure. New pulleys. I wasn't sure the conditions of the old ones. Realistically, I probably could have just kept, reused them, but I wasn't sure what kind of, like I said, what kind of shape they were going to be in. So I just got new ones. They were cheap, so it wasn't like a big deal. So I'm going to install these two. They'll just go right here. This comes off, washer comes off, and then I'll just this is a spline it fits into. And see the bracket sits kind of up against it like that, and the belt goes inside here, and it keeps the belt in there because when you disengage the mower, the belt goes limp, and this kind of helps it from the blade to keep the blade from coming off. Alright, so once I get these on and